So listen. No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there. He was no. Ah, I don't give a shit about that. This proves it once again that you don't know shit. So listen. No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there. He was no. Ah, Hi guys, and welcome back to another show of Boxing Bantz with Max the Viking page, and of course myself, Andy the Nightmare. And big thank you to our hosts and sponsors in association with Cornbread. Get yourself 30% off your first order, FTTV 30. How you doing, pal?
Yes, mate, I'm all good. Oh, mate, I'm glad to be indoors because the old wind's not picked up out there. I can hear it.
Oh, mate, it's blowing an absolute gale. It's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, look,
as I said,
it's
excuse a little dust.
It's so windy, it's blowing the curtains in.
That's just your arsehole talking, son. Hi, Rainy. So, guys, once again, if you do want to jump in, please do. We're all open for discussions. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, 2 YouTube channels, and and we're all good to go. And I know we're still needing to fix what the fuck is going on with our Twitter and Insta, because it's only showing sort of half my head, half of Max's head. So Max, if you just want to sort of lean in towards me, there we go. This is for all the fans on Insta and Twitter. Cheers, buddies. Yeah. So, anyone who knows what the fuck is going to happen there, let me know. Anyway, straight in, mate. Last night, we saw Natasha Jonas versus Maya. It was an epic battle. First and foremost, you didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch it. I was preoccupied with something else.
Yeah, well, listen, we don't want to know about that. You'll go blind.
Yes.
Marriage is Max here is a newlywed, so of course don't worry. I've been telling him folks at home that it don't last.
Yeah, so I'll get as much as I can before it ends.
It's a life of misery begins. Anyway, guys, so what do you think? Do you think Natasha Jonas deserved the win? I actually had Maya 2 rounds up.
Yeah, well, I'm just reading. Maya was saying she gave the first 2 rounds to Natasha, and then afterwards she's saying she was at punching her, clean the shots, at pointing her. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to ask. But then obviously Maya's asking, will Natasha be a stand-up champion and give her a rematch?
Well,
Does
to
the
be
rematch fully deserved?
Well, to be fair, let me just bring the microphone in because once again I did forget it. To be fair to Jonas, Jonas said that she'll be retiring this year. And I think Maya is definitely going to be a future champion. And I want to went to Martin says on Facebook, he says, let the record show Jonas won, but twice Maya has been robbed on UK soil. And do you know what? I can't agree more. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was an absolute robbery last night. I'm all for Brits winning, right? I do back the Brits. But I'm all for fair fights too. And is it about time now then that we call this this shitty judging system to account? You know, how are we going to stop? What are we going to do that's going to make it better?
Listen, I remember probably 6, 7 months ago, I did say to you, the whole boxing industry needs a big shake-up from the top to the bottom. Did I not?
It needs some regulation in this scoring. I mean, and these judges really do need to be held to account. Once again, guys, let me know what you think at home, because join in the chat. I mean, we really want to know, because at the end of the day, it affects every one of us. You know, all of us are in the business, all of us who love the sport, all of us who enjoy it. You know, tell me what you think. I mean, how would we sort this mess out?
Yeah, well, I'd start at the top, work my way down to the little man, and then perhaps a new board of judges or different way they score it. Even, you know, I don't know. I'm not a judge. I don't know how it really works, but I think it's got to change. Something's got to change.
Well, do you know what it is? It's down to, you know, one of the problems I think is it's down to sort of personal opinion on that. I mean, I've been in the ring, so I know what it's like. I know how to feel when things don't quite go your way, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, you know. So there's some... Okay, last night, I think best... If it was a draw, I would have been happy with that. I don't think she was massively robbed. You know, I really don't think she was massively robbed, but I think she lost the fight. I would have accepted a draw, because it was a good fight. It was a really, really good fight. And female boxing has come a long, long way.
Well, yeah, definitely. And I've said a long time ago, I feel like some of the female boxing is better than the men's.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Before
like...
they go at it, hammer and tong.
Mate, it was wall-to-wall battering. That's what it was. And fantastic show, I think put on by Sky and Boxer last night. Really, really was. And we all know, we've all read about what problems Boxer are going to have with illegal retributive matchroom. So how's that going to affect their career, and how's it going to affect their fighters? We'd have to wait and see. But last night was a really, really good show.
Yeah, well...
The final fight, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I am gutted I missed it, but I couldn't get out of what I was doing, so apologies, yeah.
You could have done. You could have rolled over.
Nah.
Oh, that's the way it is. You didn't want to get out of what you were doing. That's the truth.
That's more the reason.
I see. Anyway, so, you know, another robbery, they say, on UK soil. Difficult to know. I don't think there will be the rematch. If I am Jonas, I wouldn't give the rematch, because there's easier paydays. If she wants to stay sort of in control of her championship, if you like, and if it is going to be her final year, I think there'll probably be easier fights out there for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so, you know, credence that. Let's move on. What next, mate?
I'm just going off last night's boxing.
Right.
I see a funny post about Kell Brook. He's jumping back into the limelight, and he wants to unretire and face Eubank Jr.
Right, listen. Right, so let me give you the scene. So obviously there's been a bit to do with Eubank. There's been a bit to do with Conor Benn, etc., etc. So a good friend of ours.
It wasn't long ago. Him and Ben was had a bit of a scuff up in Ireland, wasn't it?
Well, that's it, because we're just about to tell the tale. So a good friend of ours, Bill Whitrod, who's a good friend of the show, and he's also one of Conor Benn's closest friends. He walked out to him with his last fight and things like that. So, and it was great to see Conor and Nigel at the event. And went over to Belfast. Obviously, Conor bumps into Kell Brook, gives him a little bit of a shove, and let's have it. Obviously, it's not gone nowhere, because obviously we know that Conor can only fight in the States at the moment. So, you know, is Kell Brook just looking for that one final payday?
yeah, it seems to me, he's had a good career. You know what I mean? I can't see like he needs any money, or unless he wants to get back in the ring because he's bored.
Well, I mean, Martin reckons he likes Kelbrook and he should stay retired. Absolutely, Martin. I couldn't agree more. Stay where you are, because
Listen,
I would hate to see him get hurt.
listen, if Eubank fights him like he did Smith, Kell Brooks is going to get beat up.
Exactly the same way as Connor. I think Connor beats him up. And I would hate to see that because Kell Brook's a legend. Do you know what I mean? He's got great
Yeah.
status in the sport. I would hate. It's like then there was talk about Connor fighting Manny Pacquiao. I mean, that would destroy the man's legacy. I mean, you can't get whipped by a young pup. That's what's going to happen. Right?
Listen,
Ring
he's got
rust
to be
plays a
20
lot in
years
it.
older, Pacquiao, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He's, some people say, well, he's still an ex-champion and all that. Llisten,
He's an
some
ex-champion for a
people,
reason.
yeah, some people don't need the money. Like when everyone gets into the sport, right? When I got into sport, someone said to me, "Oh, what is it you want to be?" I go, "Oh, I want to be world champion." That's what I want. That's what everybody gets in the sport. I want to be world champion. I want to be European champion. I want to be. We start our like love a little bit low.
Listen,
ABA schoolboys.
This brings me back to young Desi Reeves.
Oh yeah, what a
When he
cricket.
interviewed him, he's like 12, 13.
I think he's about 10 or 11 because I know his granddad.
that?
His granddad Des is fantastic guy with the British Boxing Board of Control. And really, really nice chap. And he says, I want to be world champion in the next 5 years. Well, that'll make you 17, son. So it's great to aim for it. But I tell you what, that's what we all
Full
get
of
into it for.
confidence, mate, that boy.
Yeah,
And if
absolutely.
he sticks to the boxing, I think he's going to be, have a great career in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, before we just move on to the next subject, I want to remind you that we have a free, 100% free boxing channel for you to watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. FTTVboxing.com, totally free. It's the world's only free boxing TV network. So we've got 2 channels at the moment, classic fights and boxing documentaries. Go over there. It's worth a look. Doesn't cost you a copper coin. You ain't got to sit and listen for all the adverts and nonsense. And also, you can download our app and have your say on what actually happened last night. So the app's totally free on all the app stores as well. So on to the next subject then, mate. Obviously, we're off the Kell Brook stuff. We all agree. Even the fans at home agree that says, love Kell Brook, but he needs to stay retired. Nothing else to prove. Absolutely right.
Yeah, right, let's go for it. Right, at the start of the weekend, there was Josh Taylor, Jack Catterwall apparently signed a deal, right, for a rematch. And then last night, Josh Taylor went on telly and went, it's none of old liars. We haven't agreed anything. We haven't even signed a contract. I don't know where it's come from. But it's possibly in the makings.
Who released that news? Was that IFL that released that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, everyone released it.
Yeah.
We released it because that was what we was
told,
led to believe. Yes.
Now listen, guys. In the world of boxing, rumor and that go together one and one, right? That's how it works. We got a rumor the other day, and it came from one of the most reliable sources, or it was alleged to have come from one of the most reliable sources. Okay, and it was breaking news, and we were umming and ahhing: do we release it? Do we release it? Do we release it? And in the end, because we went and checked it out and we couldn't confirm it, we couldn't. But I'm going to tell the world what it was. Michael Benson, so he's one of the most renowned guys on Twitter, goes on to say that Tyson Fury has pulled out of the Usyk fight and cited mental health, but Frank Warren's trying to persuade him to do it. So that was what the article was. We tried to verify that with Michael. We couldn't verify it. So we couldn't release it. But this is what happens in this world, right? For all of those you may have seen that news. We can't verify it. Frank never mentioned nothing about it when we was with the press conference Thursday. Is it Thursday we were at the press conference?
Yeah, Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, when we were at a Queensbury press conference for Magnificent Seven on Thursday. So we couldn't run that, right? But these are the things. Boxing and rumours go together like peanut butter and jelly, as they say in the States. And it's so difficult because
they spread faster than a wildfire.
Yeah, they do. I'll tell you, they really, really do. But it's that sort of thing that's really, really damaging to someone like Tyson Fury. We've seen a lot being released about him, and we kind of
constant
we kind
for
of
the last
stay
couple of
away.
weeks.
If you guys think, oh, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Over the last couple of weeks, we want to stay away from the smutty end of it. Not interested in the position of him having affairs or his wife having affairs, because we've seen so much of that. And I really doubt that any of this shit happens, guys. You know, so if you do see things like that, do bear in mind people do clickbaiting.
Listen, all that nonsense we've heard over the last couple of weeks, it would be in the national newspapers all over the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, you know, I've got to say, if you're caught stirring the shit pot, you should be made to lick the spoon.
Well, I wouldn't want to lick Tyson Fury spoon, I can assure you of that, because that man is 6'9" and must turd like a gorilla. Do you know what I mean? It was, but you know what? I mean, he's a really nice guy outside of all this, and he does so much for people. People don't know that. He doesn't want to tell anybody that. You know, doesn't want to tell people he gave away his shoes to homeless people, giving people money to help them out in tough situations, helping people who need homes and stuff up near Morecambe Bay.
Away from all that boxing talk of him giving it large, I'll smash anyone up after 20 pints. Behind the scenes, he's a genuinely sort of a nice fella.
Yeah,
you know
he is,
I mean?
and he's got time for people. He really, really, really has. I mean, if you watched At Home with the Furies, that was a wicked documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I mean, it made me chuckle for absolute hours. And I would say to anybody, get yourself down there, get yourself watching that, because that is fantastic. And that guy comes up to him and still think Joshua would do you, and he says, I think everyone on this beach will do you. And one of the most funniest things ever was when he was reading a bedtime story to the kids, and I keep mentioning it.
Yeah.
Go on, Max, you tell them.
Was it a double left jab right
hook? That's how we sorted the big bad wolf out, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Absolute
he's a brilliant storyteller.
He is fantastic, and he's got a good family around him as well. But while we're on the Tyson Fury thing, if I'm Tyson, what would you be angry if your dad going and making some of the statements he's made recently?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's some twisted Fury thing, whether it's a mind game. You know?
John, he said that. I didn't say shit. Yeah. Well, me, has it?
Yeah, me. Yeah, punch me.
Again.
But again. But yeah, you don't know if it's some twisted mind games what they're doing, right? To sort of get into fighters' heads, like, you know, make them overconfident, like he ain't mentally there. Yes, I'll just steamroll him, but really, he's all there and he's just waiting for it.
Well, I mean, Martin's just said, you know, his stock has massively decreased, and I think following the Francis Ngannou fight, it probably has, because that did him no favours.
Listen, I truly believe, hand on heart, he did not take that seriously, and he did not 100% train properly for that. He probably thought, who's this mug? He might be a big lump. He's a UFC star. I'm a boxer, world champion. I'll punch him up. And he didn't.
No, he didn't.
But also, he didn't come out raring like a wild swinging bear and all that. He held back a lot, didn't he, Ngannou?
Yeah, he did. And I think, you know, Martin has a very good point. There's no playing mind games with Alexander Usyk. Do you know why? Because, I mean, we were with him in Poland, right? This is how Alexander Usyk trains for his fights. He was dancing around in the ring 2 days before his fight. Juggling. I mean, and he is one of the nicest guys in boxing. Sits there, make your tea and coffee. You know, always got time for people. We sat there opposite the bells holder. He don't give a shit. He is such a great dandy. So, I don't know how, you know, John Fury getting in his head is going to make any difference.
Yeah, but, you know, it might work for a lot of fighters, but it's not working against Usyk.
No, and I even think the last time he felt really in trouble was when Bertabiev put him down in the amateurs, I think, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the only bit of trouble he's ever had. But then when you come from the Ukraine, a tough place to live, you're mentally strong anyway as a person, I think, because you have to be.
I don't know. I mean, if you was to say to me, you know, if you had a choice to fight people from nations, what nations would not want to fight them? I think Mexicans is top of my list.
Yeah, Mexicans,
really
Russians,
top of my list, yeah.
You know, Eastern Europeans. But it's like when Anthony Joshua went off his rocker on the second fight, you know, like yanking the flag off Usyk, blah, blah, blah. What did Usyk say? You don't want to start on them. They're seasoned street fighters.
Yeah, but so he comes from that sort of background. I mean, the thing is, You know, we know that me and you can have a row. Do you know what I mean? Plenty have been tested, but
Yeah.
I think
Failed.
yeah, miserably. I think Her Majesty's jail cells have, hosted us more than once.
Yeah.
You
20
more
odd
than
years
me.
ago. No.
you more than me. But and this is where I would argue in all of this is the Saudi money actually putting some of boxing legacy in jeopardy? Hear me out on this. So, for example, Francis Ngannou has no business fighting a top 15 fighter. Right? In order to do that in this sport, you have to fight your way up. Southern Area Championships, English Championships, British, Commonwealth, European, Silver, and then you get to fight. You work your way into the top 10, and then you should be fighting for. So this is where my question is the Saudi money actually detrimental to this? Because it's just basically paying for an exhibition fight that could have gone horribly wrong for Fury and may yet go horribly wrong for Joshua.
Well, listen, a lot of people are saying Joshua and Ngannou fight is a nonsense fight. We know Lennox Lewis ain't happy with it. He's certainly let his voice be known.
Well, the thing is, it is in realistic terms. In realistic terms, Joshua shouldn't have anything to do with the fight because it's a potential banana skin, right? In the heavyweight divisions, everyone's got two hands. Everyone's got two clubs on the end of each arm, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And it's only going to take one hit for Joshua's career to be over. Because if Ngannou knocks him out, it's over. Where do you go?
Yeah. Listen, I do believe if, touch wood, well, not saying touch wood for that bit, Ngannou actually knocks AJ out, I believe that is career ending for AJ.
It is. It is.
How
what
did you
do
come
you
back from
gain?
a loss from a person who's had two fights?
No, that's it. But if he's in a no-win situation, right? The only thing he wins...
It's the $50 million he's been guaranteed.
Absolute Benjamins, right? So, but it is a road to nowhere.
Ngannou's got absolutely nothing to lose.
No, he hasn't. Because there's still fights with Wilder and things coming after this if he loses or not.
Yeah, he says Fury owes him a rematch.
No, I don't.
Well, according to Ngannou, he goes deep down, I know I won, you owe me a rematch.
Yeah, but soundbites aren't sworn testimony, and just because he thinks he won doesn't mean necessarily does it so. I mean...
Well, he's not the only one who thinks he's won. A lot of people thought he did win the fight. So it's one of them ones.
Yeah, it is, and I mean we've got people talking about it now, and they're saying if he loses, the only fight is for Usyk. It's Fury when Usyk loses. Sorry, when Fury loses to Usyk. I mean that's confidence, but
let's answer this one, right? If
in all British,
AJ lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fury lost. Is the AJ and Fury fight as big as everyone still thinks it's going to be?
It's only big for the British boxing fan.
But would it be as big if?
But it's not legacy defining, is it?
No, but if they both lost, is it still going to be the biggest fight in British history?
No. It just wouldn't be, would it?
Yeah.
I mean, so. Potentially the money is potentially great. But...
Yeah, but is the money going to be there? If they both lost, would you pay money to go and watch two losers?
Well, yes, because they're British, but it's not about what we pay, it's about what the Saudis will pay.
Yeah, but would the Saudis even entertain it if they both lost?
Well, listen, I mean,
but they're
paying
money.
Ngannou. I mean, all respect to him.
They pay big money for Ngannou Usyk if that went that way, wouldn't it?
Possibly.
Yeah, stranger things have happened in boxing, so I think all it is at the moment is just opinions flying around until Judgment Day.
And talking of Judgment Day, December 17th will be the Judgment Day for the Fury and Usyk fight. and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, we will be, giving our commentary and verdicts and such and forth on that. We may even figure out how we can sort of do it live, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an epic fight, no matter what. The Fury Usyk fight, the AJ and Ngannou fight. I just hope it goes AJ's way because of what comes after that. And I'm really sorry to say that I don't really like this crossover sporting stuff. I mean, it all started with Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Floyd carried him for 8-9 rounds. And then he could have just destroyed him at his will and just. Yeah,
but if you listen to Mike Tyson's podcast talking about the Mayweather Conor McGregor, because someone in his podcast was going, "Oh, Conor McGregor's a mug, he's a shit boxer," and then Tyson went, "Listen, this man went 10 rounds with possibly the best boxer in the last 100 years."
This man was carried in 10 rounds by the best boxer.
He's got a good boxer.
This man was carried. Conor McGregor was carried. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Let's not baffle bullshit with brains, right? Let's have it right. We got nothing to gain from backing Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor sponsors Boxing Social. He does not sponsor Fighters Talk TV. And he sponsors Matchroom. Of course, Conor, if you want to change my opinion, throw a few £1,000 our way every month, and I'll tell you that you carry Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, but if my memory serves me correct, I think it was Tyson walked up to Ngannou after his fight and went, "Let's see who the baddest man on the planet is. You're the champion of the UFC, I'm the champ. Let's rock it, let's get it on." So, I think Fury actually called this fight on.
No, I'm not denying that, but I absolutely don't really like it. Right? Now, in the opposite way round, right? If Ngannou is in the octagon with Fury, he's pulling limbs off. Fury ain't gonna last 60 seconds. Let's be honest, 100%. If he lasts longer than 60 seconds, it's because Francis Ngannou wants it to last longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
But if you want to see who the baddest man in the planet is, guys and girls, if you want to see who the baddest man in combat sports is, then I'm afraid you're going to have to look at John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. Forget Tyson Fury, forget Anthony Joshua, forget Alexander Usyk, forget any of your top 10 heavyweight, forget it. They're not bad men. The other two, however, is a bad dude. Right?
Yeah,
That's the only way. And let me tell you, if Saudis want to spend money on finding out who the baddest man in the planet is, John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. That's the only way you're finding that out.
No holds barred.
Yeah, no holds barred. Fucking eye gouging, pubic hair pulling, everything.
Oh yeah.
Seriously bad men in that particular thing. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to be in the referee and getting in between them two and all that. If I copped an unfortunate one, I'd wake up in a fortnight.
If you woke up.
If I woke up and a couple more teeth missing. So, so what next, mate? What are we going to talk about next?
Well, Fury again.
Really?
But apparently this time it's, I don't know how true this is, but the WBC are saying if he pulls out of the fight, they're thinking about stripping him.
They should. They made up a BS thing about Francis Ngannou ranked number 10. Who ranks number 10 in the WBC after one fight?
I don't know.
Nobody.
Look at that Moses Ituma. He's had 5-6 fights and he's like 300.
Yeah.
Or probably higher.
It's an absolute nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense.
And listen, that only become would they change the rules last half an hour to make it a
sanctioned
defense?
fight? Yeah. So what's that? So he didn't have to
fight someone else.
Yeah, and then they made it. They bummed up Ngannou to like 10th.
Yeah, well, it is ridiculous. I mean, I'm taking no credit away from Ngannou, but
I am.
It's not his doings anyway. He never said, "Oh, I'll be number 10."
No. I'm not taking any. But I'm just saying, I just don't believe that is how it works. And this is where, right, now if you go and watch on Fighters Talk or FTTVboxing.com, you go and watch, there's an FBI documentary on there that shows you the level of corruption inside of the sanctioning bodies. It was about the IBF, but I'm pretty sure this happens all over the place. Promoters paying sanctioning bodies to actually get their fighters higher ranks so that they get more purses. I mean,
Yeah, for a bigger purse. Yeah.
the box fixing back in the day with the mafia and all that is what has long gone. But I just totally think at the end of the day, you can't. There needs to be boxing needs an overhaul. Perhaps the Saudis are the people to do it. Perhaps.
Yeah, well, I'm just having a look here about Tank Davis and Haney fight up in Saudi. How do you think that fight goes?
I'd like to see it. I have to say, I would like to see it.
It is a fight I'd like to see, but I think this is a fight what's gonna be happening for a long time, and it never got there, did it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It should happen. There's so many fights everybody wants to see. Wants to start seeing unification matches, one division, one champion. That's what it realistically is. And I know it was all done. Let's have too many people do this, do that, something else. But I hate these multiple belts. And one thing more, I think, is you should, as quite rightly Martin says, okay, no fighter should be holding up these belts. None of them. You should have 3 fights a year if you're the champion, and you should be fighting somebody every time who's in the top 6.
Listen, look at Mike Tyson. Is it in 85 or 87?
18 fights, wasn't it? 1 year.
No, they weren't that many. It was 15 he had in 1 year. Yeah. You know what I mean? And most boxers don't have that in their lifetime.
Well, I mean,
some have like 20s, 30s, but a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
them,
we're going back, and he went through people like Tommy Morrison. They call was it a Great White Hope? Tommy the Duke Morrison, who was, he was fighting guys every 2 weeks.
Yeah, listen, that man was fighting geezers when he was 15, lying on his application to fight adults.
Canelo did exactly the same thing, just to get in there. I mean, the thing is, when you're athletic and gifted, I just think, and I have to agree, I think Tank wins that fight anyway.
Yeah, listen, he's a small power. They called him a little Mike Tyson, didn't they?
They call a lot of people that.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's the power or it's their movements and all that, but there's only one Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Ears are a safer place. I just think that they call a lot of fighters that, and it's just going to be interesting. Going to really, really, really be interesting to see what goes on. And there's going to be a lot of big fights. Apparently, the Saudis are putting on. We spoke to Matchroom. Matchroom say they're putting 45 separate fights on this year. Shows on this year. Queensbury are pulling on quite a few. And I'd just like to make a complaint to both Queensbury and Matchroom here right now. Listen, guys, you guys are talking. You're setting up fights between each other for the Saudis. Can you at least have the common courtesy to talk to one another when you're going to put a show on? Both of you got a show February 10th. One of you's at the Copper Box. The other one's at the Indigo. We can't be in 2 places at the same time. Oh, nightmare. And for the average boxing fan who loves to watch fights, it would be helpful if, unlike us, we can watch it one each screen. But, it's, to me, it's just crazy in the world like today. You got the 2 biggest British boxing promoters putting a fight on the same night. All we got to wait for now is for Wasserman's and Sky Sports to decide they're doing one on the February 10th too.
Yeah, it's happened before, isn't it? 3 separate fights for the same night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bloody nightmare.
Oh, we still managed it.
We did. No, I have to say we did manage to do that. So anyway, any more boxing news before we close out?
Well, I'll get this Magnificent 7 fight with Heaney and Pauls keeps popping up. I think this is going to be a very interesting fight.
Well, I do. I like Nathan Heaney. He did look rather weird the first time I see him with a moustache.
Well, I've got with the moustache. It's for a remembrance of his father.
Yes, I saw. Yeah.
That's why he's donning the moustache.
It put me off a bit. I was like, who's that? First. I had to take a second.
I don't know what it is. When you say geezer with moustache, you think, I think it's going to be a tasty fight because both of them are game for it.
Absolutely.
And obviously, I've been watching that polls. He's really putting himself out there, training hard, and obviously pushing the ticket sales and that. I think he's just got a point to prove that he's up there with everyone.
Well, that's it. And I'll tell you something else. What I want to do is let's talk about the fights that are happening this weekend, guys. Crocker versus Felix in Belfast, Ireland. You've got Mingua versus Ryder in Phoenix, Arizona. So let's go with the latter a bit. Mingui versus Ryder. Ryder's last throw out was to Canelo, got stopped, right? And if he didn't get a cracked eye, a broken nose, sorry, could have carried on and could have been a different story with Canelo.
Yeah, I believe that. I think if he hadn't had his nose broken in the third round, I believe, I think it would have given Canelo more of a tougher fight. But
so it's going to be an interesting fight for that one. And also Crocker versus Felix. Lewis Crocker, 18-0 versus Jose Felix, 46-1. That's going to be an interesting fight. Lewis looking to come through that fight and move onwards. But you've also got C4, Chev Clark on that bill. Nice to see him. He's facing off against Tommy McCarthy. That's going to be interesting. It looks like onwards and upwards for you then, Chev. Everything going well. Panny Donovan, we're waiting to find out who he's facing. You've got Sean McComb, Lili Belchidig, and Giorgio Visioli in his second fight for Matchroom coming up as well.
He's the one to watch out for and all, apparently. So.
Well, that's it. I mean, Matchroom have got a good young stables. George Liddard, Jimmy Sains, Giorgio Visioli.
Conor Ben, Devin Haney.
He's got quite a few stars. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us here live on Sunday night for your, in the UK, Sunday afternoon if you're in the United States, for your latest Boxing Bantz update. Do not forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media channels and check out fttvboxing.com to get all of your boxing content, documentaries, fights, everything totally free of charge. No cost to download our app as well, available on all the app stores. Fighters Talk TV, just search for that, all one word, and you can download the app. Once again, it's all for free, and you can vote and have your say on what you thought happened on the Jonas versus Mayer fight at the weekend, and watch all of our other content as well. So once again, thank you very, very much for joining us. Thank you very much to Cornbread for sponsoring us. If you are interested in sponsoring the show, we'd love to have you on board, and you can get yourself in front of over 20 million fans every month. So once again, from Max the Viking Page and Andy the Nightmare, we will see you again next week. Bosh.